That's why we send emails.
So I realized we changed times back to 10 o'clock, and I sent out an email this morning trying to tell everybody, if anyone is just now tuning in,
Welcome.
sorry we changed times, and you can watch the recording. Hi, Cecilia.
Please turn on your microphone because I'm too lazy to get up.
We will move relatively quickly, but I got some information to share. So chapter 9. Did anybody read these chapters?
Let's scan them.
Cecilia said no. Yay. So chapter 9 is all about making social media part of your brand. I'm going to read a couple of things I highlighted. Then we're going to just open up discussion with our local expert here.
Oh, I hope they show up soon.
How do you design your social media presence so that everything about it is consistent and reflects your personality and that of your business? You know, we saw the Instagram that Leslie did, and they all had a very similar background, either the purplish or the maybe slightly I don't know what the other color was, but it was a little bit lighter. And the thing is, she always had the same spotlight. She always had her black glasses on. You always saw her from here up. That's a branding of her so that you know to expect that. You don't have to have a brand that just that is a hat or whatever. And we'll get into that in a minute. But she has branded it so you always know when you see that pop up, it's her. However, it's got to fit your personality. So it would be really stupid for you to rent a dog and take a half dozen dog pictures if you're not a dog person, you know? It would be stupid of you to go show, let's say, take pictures of your house on the inside when it's all modern if you're all early American. So make your brand fit your personality. Those two should go back and forth, and you should kind of think about what you're doing. Today, the concept of I'm not going to go there. Think about color schemes, logos, jingles. You know, music is a large part of that. Sometimes even smells. Hard to smell over social media.
Yeah.
They
don't have smell-o-vision yet.
And you're trying to strive to get a overall distinctive look or vibe that's uniquely yours. But at the same time, one thing Leslie's done, and I don't know how we get there, she has not only got her social media where it has become a look that you see, but she's now become an influencer. So people look for her social media because she does so much on it, they watch her. So, having said all that, you grew up in and around advertising agencies. You were also on the radio for years. There are several things that we can come up with branding examples. Back in the radio days, you used to have a guy go around and make up a jingle for you and sing it, and then they'd take the jingle and play it with every ad, and the words would be kind of hokey sometimes.
For sure.
And then they'd have pros record it. But the thing is, whenever that music played, you knew that you were getting that ad.
Right. Well, it's no different than there's a TV ad that always sticks in my mind because of the branding, and that's I think Midwest Siding, and it's call now.
And they had to update that. It says click or call now. Okay.
But that is his branding. Oh yeah, that's the Siding guys. Yeah.
So branding can be in conjunction with Better Homes and Gardens. You wear green every time you're on the screen. Branding could be a song that you play that is distinctively yours, or that is something you really appreciate. I would not play a hard rock song if you're only into country, make it something that is yours. It can be a look. It can be the way you walk along a sidewalk. It could be a color. It can be a hat that you always wear.
No, well, I mean, there was one agent from my last brokerage that every time she sold a house, she'd get a picture of her next to the sign with a rider that said sold, and she'd kick her leg out. It'd be some crazy thing, but that was her branding. You knew she just sold a house, whether it said sold or not, because she's next to the sign doing this. But that was her thing. Again, that is a part of branding.
You could, thinking off the cuff, you could do that with whoever is buying the house, and you could have someone take the picture. You go 1, 2, 3, and everybody jumps up in the air, jump for joy. We sold another house.
Right.
Something along those lines. It's a little hokey, but you see that, you always think about it. So when we talk about, I keep looking to see if anybody signed in.
I'll let you know.
Okay. When we talk about having that kind of branding, it doesn't have to be expensive, or
It doesn't have to be
it just
elaborate.
has to be unique.
It has to be consistent.
If Cindy Ford rode a horse up to every house she sold, and took and had her horse in there in front of the house.
Yeehaw, we sold another one.
Pam could do that too. She's
No.
a horseman. So think about what would make sense for you and who you are, and then start melding, bringing that into other things that you do, whether it be your flyers or whether it be a picture of social media. The thing is, if all you do as a real estate agent is say, I put homes in the MLS, I sell houses, and my customers are happy, you haven't done anything than the other 2,300 real estate agents are out there. Come up with a brand. There was one agent I know that always wears can't think of her name right, a big wide brim hat with every picture tilted back. Now, she may have several hats that are that way, but it's a brand that when it pops up, you see it.
Mhm.
Any comments, thoughts?
Ideas, interjections.
Now, Cecilia's got a built-in brand. There are very few female real estate agents with hair like yours. And you wear those same glasses. So again, that could become almost a brand of it. You can talk about it or not, but it's a brand. It's a unique look.
But even what you just said, April, an avatar can be your brand,
Sure.
because they've got them that do everything now.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
you can use AI and pick any star's face that you like, and then you can make it talk when your mouth works.
Yeah.
So you can,
Of course, you got to pay for that, but
yeah, but
Yeah.
you can literally have I don't know, for me it'd probably be Kenny Loggins. Nah, I wouldn't do Kenny. Elton John. I could put Elton John's face up there, and every time I talked, his mouth would move and my voice would come out, and it would be kind of strange, but
branding can be even as simple as on every post, every video that you do, you have a specific emoji. Or, you've got money signs. I mean, anything like that is consistent. Your brand, whatever you become consistent with, becomes your brand. At one time, when I was younger in radio, my sign off was always TTFN, Ta-ta for now. As it went later, my voice became my brand.
well, and we talked this morning about Gail on the CBS Morning News.
Mhm.
Every time the opening line is always from Gail, and she says, "Welcome, welcome." I can't even say it right. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Just very quickly like that. They also have the trumpet that sounds the morning news. That's always, when I was growing up, Channel 10 had Trumpeter's Holiday. That's a very old song that none of you have ever heard, but that was kind of their banner that the news was coming on. You have Old Merlin, which is nothing
Right.
more than a sign off. So you can always do little things like that, but think about it and bring it into your branding so that people will recognize it.
But always across every platform, whether it's social media, whether it's your flyers, whether it's your emails, connect the dots for people, and they will start connecting it and go, oh yeah, that's Tammy. Oh yeah, that's Cecilia. Oh, I know April. because they recognize that consistency across the board on every level of your advertising.
Okay, enough of that one.
Okay.
The next chapter is one that we're going to brush on ever so lightly, but it's finding a social media partner to do your social media for you.
I just gagged myself.
I know. Well, it's problematic on a
there's-
couple of levels, and it's good on other levels. So we interviewed an agent last week that posts 2 to 4 times every day. And I know when we sat in class and said post 1 to 3, 3 times a day, some people looked at us like we were crazy. I literally saw on Fiverr a guy who will post 10 times a day for you.
That's excessive.
Yeah, and I'm going 10 times a day, really? But the point is, the more you repeat, the more likelihood you're going to show up in somebody's feed. Then I found an advertising agency that would post for you and guarantee you 10 comments underneath your post, because comments make it come up faster. So like in your class that you guys have, you guys should take turns, or not take turns, but be sure you comment on each other's thing, because the more comments, the higher up it comes, and so on. On Fiverr, I found some people that will create all the posts for you and tell you what the schedule should be, but you have to post it. I found other ones that would actually do the posting for you. I didn't find an agency per se that would do it all just on a Google search, but Fiverr could start anywhere from $50 to $100 a month to come up with all the posts you want, up to $300 or $400 a month if you wanted them to post this stuff for you. And my biggest problem with it, and what she has a problem with, people that post that stuff for you may or may not know what your personality is. They're going to be kind of generalized real estate posts. And if you want to brand yourself more about who you are, other than just here's the national sales statistics or whatever you have, you have to really watch that. Now, the good side is, if you're that busy that you need somebody else to post for you, great.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you. Some people are busy enough, like Kim for the Knopfers downstairs does posting. That's fantastic. They've got enough business that they can have her be the TC and post. But I don't know that I would, at least for most of you, that I would go for any kind of, I want to hire an agency to do it, because it's just flat not that affordable.
Well, it's not logical when Facebook gives you the Meta Business Suite for free, that you could spend one day a week for an hour and plan out all of your posts and schedule them a week out and walk away from it.
The only thing you will have an issue with is, I don't know what to post. Sorry.
Well,
however, inside the greenhouse, there's that whole section in there where it pulls posts in the social media tool. So at least that will be some ideas. And in the back of this book, segue,
nice. I was wondering when you're going to do that.
they came up with a bonus section of 100 ideas of social media content. Now, I highlighted a few that I think were pretty good. If you see somebody else has done a humorous post and you like it, you can share it or you can borrow it. Depends on the media. If they put a picture of a dog and cat, running into a fire hydrant, and you think that's funny, you probably want to take the picture and upload it or share it. Client testimonials are always great to post. People want to see that you've done a good job. Polls. Facebook, I don't know about Instagram. Facebook, you can put a poll up.
Instagram, no.
Okay. So a poll would be where you ask a question and then down below you put yes, no, maybe, you write in something else. I've done polls like, what was favorite concert you've ever gone to? If you could go back to the 60s and listen to only one song, what would it be? Those are kind of polls that people will vote on.
Right. And if you want to gear it a little more towards real estate to get likes, to get comments, to get the interaction that you need on the social media, do you prefer when you're looking for a home? Do you prefer hardwood floors? Do you prefer, tile? Do you prefer carpet? And this will get people to engage with you while you're still being a real estate agent.
Or you can ask them, what color wall do you prefer?
Right,
Put two pictures up of the walls.
According to Better Homes and Gardens, this year's colors are this. What do you like?
So that would be an example of polls. Share memes. What's a meme, Cecilia?
It's
meme. It's a meme.
I call them memes too.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm old.
It's MEME. How is that not a meme?
It's a meme.
So a meme is just like a funny picture with like a saying
With a caption.
and sometimes.
Or a GIF short video, like,
No, that's a GIF.
No, I know what a GIF
But that's
is,
different than a meme.
but they'll make memes out of, like the president tripping coming out of a plane or something like that. Right.
But a meme just tends to be a photo with some writing.
Right.
Okay.
And sometimes those phrases in the meme go viral and then you can like get the phrase with different pictures or things like that.
Like the whole Karen and the cat thing.
That's a meme.
That's a meme. Yeah, my kids laughed at me when I said that.
Yeah, I
once,
know.
So I just keep saying it.
I'm going to have to look up the origin of that word so I'll know why it's pronounced meme.
Instead of meme.
Well, just what it.
Housing market info. Now, we periodically put out our numbers once a month, and you have that. I hope you have that app from Security First. It's like $10 a year, and they have a lot of memes and videos and posts in there that could be your housing info.
Mm-hmm.
I like this pet bio one. Now, don't make up a pet bio if you don't have an animal. Just doesn't work.
Clients are going to want to talk about your animal then.
I like the one that where Sandra's starting to follow her puppy around, and what's her puppy's name again?
Fozzie.
Fozzie, yeah. Fozzie says, Fozzie went here, Fozzie did. I think that's fun. This one really caught my attention. Anniversary of the sale purchase of a home if the home itself or circumstances of the sale are noteworthy. So every year, if you sold, one time I sold a house, and when the inspector did the inspection, I may have told this last week, they went up in the attic and they found skins from about 100 bull snakes.
Right.
Because the bull snake's been climbing up the walls and shedding skins up in the attic. And the people living in the house said, well, we heard noises in the wall, but we didn't know what they were exactly. So if every year I brought that up again and said, here's the bull snake house, or, something along those lines,
Right.
that would be an unusual home that you could bring up.
Or even for someone who, on their first anniversary of being a first-time homeowner, that would be something to celebrate after the first year. And mention, if you've never bought your first house or you're looking to buy your first house, I can help you too. Celebrating so-and-so's,
Or every year, post, say, this is the first house I ever sold as a real estate agent, and put that up every year. That could be kind of fun. I used to, I quit doing it years ago. I would look for the most unusual houses I could find and do a post about once a week in a blog. So in Rotterdam, there are cube houses. They're very funny if you've ever seen the cube house spread. And then I found a house shaped like a toilet in Japan.
Okay.
Because the guy is the king of toilet makers. So he's got a house from the air. It looks like a big giant toilet with windows in it. I can't remember some of the other funny ones, but there's a lot of funny houses that you could do quick searches for. Just say, hey, I saw this today. This was kind of funny.
Well, there's that house on 235 just west of I-35 that is nothing but a giant
The
mound,
dome.
the dome
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
But in the front, it looks like a regular house.
And then in the back, it's all dirt.
Yeah.
There's
That's kind of cool.
I've fallen in love with Frank Lloyd Wright. We've only got one here in town, but there's others that are around that are close. So that's one thing. I thought that anniversary was good though. Interior design inspirations. If you see a picture or something like that that you think, wow, this is what I want my home like, you'll see a lot of agents that do that. Is this the kind of backyard you'd like, or would you like something else?
Again, you're asking for that interaction.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff for that in the greenhouse, especially from Better Homes and
Oh, yeah.
Gardens. And we post a lot of those on our site. So please share them. You know,
Here's another one. My favorite spots in Wichita are, you can put your restaurant, you can put where you play pool, you can play that you want to go play miniature golf every week or whatever it is, your favorite spot. Our IT guy, Paul, one year, was it a year? I think it was a year. They ate at a different restaurant and blogged about it in alphabetical order. So the first restaurant was A, the second restaurant started with a B, the third one started
That's
with
fun.
a C. That was kind of fun and unique. And historical pictures of your area. Well, I love history. So for me, that's a big one. If you don't like history, you probably don't want to do that. But I like looking at buildings and knowing what they were used for and how they originated and so on.
that just makes me think, wouldn't it be fun to go to Cowtown and their old houses and go, we've come from this to this?
Or
or what-
highlight a different picture in Cowtown every
Exactly.
week.
That'd be fun.
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
It was a house that I had. Oh, well. Oh, I know what it was. For instance, there used to be a sculpture downtown. They took it out about 2 or 3 years ago of a sit-in in Woolworths, where the old Woolworth had
Yes.
been. And that yeah. And that was one of the first sit-ins in the United States. And I thought that was such a powerful statement, and I hate they took that down. But wow, they may have moved it, but I liked that it was in the location that had happened at before. And finally, I saw this one. It says, oh no, there's two more. One more. What not to buy. Have you ever been in I see an inspector sometimes post, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah. I like those.
Wouldn't it be better to go in a house and say, I would never ever buy this, or what were they thinking when they did this? Yeah, I've seen houses like that. Now, I would be a little careful about how I did that. Don't post the address, but you could take a close up and say, what were they thinking? And leave it there.
When the faucets to the tub are on top of the toilet.
Well,
seen
like I
weird
know a
stuff
house
like
right now. I know a house right now in Pratt, where the guy's refrigerator quit working. And so he bought a new refrigerator, but instead of getting rid of the old one, he just put the new one in front of it. So the old one's back behind it. And I could say easily, I wouldn't do this. And lastly, time-lapse video. You guys ever done time-lapse videos? It's where you're doing a regular video. I've done one on the road to Hana, where you're doing a regular video, but they take it and process it. So it takes like a minute to go through 30 minutes of video. It just looks like you're high-speeding through it. Those could be kind of fun and interesting. And it would be interesting if you did it a lot. Now I've got this house that I'm doing an open house today, and walk around it and through it real quick in the time lapse. And if you did that every week, that becomes a type of branding.
Mhm.
And if you were Cecilia, you could take a caricature of yourself and put it down in the corner of the entire time lapse. So just different ideas. So did we learn anything out of this book?
You don't have to spend a gazillion dollars to make it happen. You don't have to spend a dime to make this happen. And to increase the awareness of of who you are, of what you do. The tools are there. It's just blocking that time to do it and being vigilant and being consistent across all platforms, whether it be print, social media, emails, keep it consistent.
And I think part of what I learned is this is the new reality, if you will. This is a media.
Yeah.
This is where most people go. Back in the 60s, it was a newspaper. You guys won't remember. There used to be 2 newspapers a day in Wichita, the Eagle and the Beacon.
I remember.
And now you're lucky to get a newspaper a day. Well, that's because the Eagle all moved to Kansas City, but yeah. But it's not like the newspapers of old either. Our media has changed. And you guys have free access to media. Hallelujah. We used to have to buy ads that cost a whole lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
So utilize this free media and brand yourself.
Anyone?
Comments?
Anyone?
Bueller?
That's it. They'll be on at 11.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Oh, next week's book is, I just am fascinated by this. It's by Christina or Katie Malshore, and she's a very popular real estate coach, trainer, teacher. She went around to about 20 some odd top producers and said, if you picked up your business today and moved to a new city where you didn't have a sphere of influence, no listings, no buyers or sellers, how would you get 3 clients within your first 30 days? And she came up with the plan, but she also has all the interviews of all the people. So I thought we'd read some of these, look at the plan, because I know that everybody in this company would be thrilled if they had 36 deals a year from picking up 3 clients a month. That means you can do those things, but you have to repeat them. So that's why we're going to go into that book, and we're going to do more about marketing yourself and starting from scratch, like these pros did, but they do it in a new city. We're going to be doing it in the same city. Okay?
Okay.
It is
3 clients in 30 days.
I'll send out an email again today. It's not available on Audible. It is available on, which Elena told me about. It is available either in print or on Kindle. And,
Kindle's like $2.99 is what I got it for.
yeah, it's pretty cheap. Let me see what I can give you the exact. Come on. I think it's 3 clients in 30 days is what the name of it is. Come on. What-
30 days.
Yep.
Who's the author? Krista Mashore.
Malshore, I think is how you do her last. Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, not doing a barn and then put it back on the shelf and yeah, these book clubs are getting expensive.
Well, this is the most books I've read in years.
I'm going to book club in like this. My friend had never buy it. Usually my other sister buys it.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I guess why I'm doing these books, I want experts who are smarter than me. And there was a lot of clamoring about how do we get more clients? How do we do in this business and so on. So I figure if we get one of these books to be kind of our guide, and then we all sit and chime in on them,
That's a good brainstorming.
we get some brainstorming. So there you go.
In this particular book about social media, one really might be. Oh, should be my name. But, I like that very much, and I think I'm gonna.
Well, I keep trying to go back and forth. Some people don't want them to be too techy. Some of them want to be all about getting business. The phrase book we did were just to get you to think about how language works. And I had a request at how do we do social media? And I thought this sounded like a decent book for social media. So, yeah, except for today.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Yeah.